Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Lakofsky. I am a tax partner at Citrin Cooperman. I work in our Philadelphia office. I am joined today by Jamie Reichert, who is also a tax principal in our tax office. He focuses in the state and local tax area. He is our local expert. And Jamie was kind enough to join us today for a couple of questions regarding state and local taxes and its effect on the manufacturing and distribution industry, as well as some other industries that state and local have affected. Jamie, thank you for taking the time to meet with me today.
Sure, Matt. It's a pleasure. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. So state and local taxes is obviously a very hot topic in a lot of industries. And I just wanted to maybe touch upon a couple of the big ones that we have here. What do you think state and local taxes have taken on such an increased focus in recent years? And why the rising risk of complexity with that?
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a number of factors that really come into play from a personal standpoint and pass-through entities, right, where most income taxes are paid at the personal level. The changes that were made as part of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that limited the SALT deduction. That's one reason that state and local taxes have taken on a little bit more attention as of late, is because for people, at the individual level, there hasn't been the same level of deduction available for state taxes paid. And so they're not getting that same relief at the federal level. So there's a little bit more focus there. In addition to that, there's really been a trajectory both from the United States Supreme Court as well as from Congress of really punting to the states. The Constitution leaves state and local taxes rules for states and localities to come up with their own. And as a result of that, Congress has sort of been very reluctant to pass uniform laws that states all have to employ. And the U.S. Supreme Court, quite frankly, very rarely takes up state tax cases. As a result, there's sort of this ambiguity and sort of an area that really states are left to fill the gaps, and local jurisdictions as well, in terms of what rules they're going to incorporate. And as a result of that, there's, hodgepodge and mix and match of different rules that don't necessarily work well together, hence some of the complexities involved. And really, we've even seen a recent example of that in modern news. Just last week, the United States Supreme Court refused to hear a case that was brought by New Hampshire. And the idea behind that case was Massachusetts had passed guidance or issued guidance during COVID-19, essentially saying that for those non-residents that normally work in Massachusetts, but may be working remotely, that income is still sourced and subject to tax in Massachusetts. And New Hampshire brought suit saying, well, their residents that are working in New Hampshire and telecommuting shouldn't be subject to that tax, and those activities are not happening in Massachusetts. And technically, the Supreme Court has what's called original jurisdiction, which of conflicts between states. But the United States Supreme Court, again, last week said they're not going to hear the case. And as a result, we were sort of left again with this gray area of, can states enforce rules like that, similar to what I described for Massachusetts and other states like New York, Delaware, which have what's called convenience of the employer rules. And that gets into complexities of wage sourcing. So again, combination of lack of federal deduction, sort of lack of action by Congress and the U.S. Supreme Court, and then sort of changing, corporate tax rate went down at the federal level as part of 2018, and tax changes went into place. Again, that sort of gave more of a focus on the state and local side.